Hey there, English learners! Are you ready for an exciting adventure? Today's story will take you on a journey with two best friends who chose completely opposite paths in life. Imagine this. One friend packed her bags and moved to a buzzing, bright city full of skyscrapers and millions of people. The other friend, she stayed in the peaceful countryside with green fields and singing birds. Which life sounds better to you? Well, you're about to find out the surprising truth about both. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into this amazing story. Let me tell you about two childhood friends, Maria and Lisa. They grew up together in a small village, but their lives took completely different paths when they became adults. Their story shows us the real differences between city life and countryside life. Maria always dreamed of living in a big city. She wanted excitement, opportunities, and a fast-paced lifestyle. When she turned 22, she packed her bags and moved to the capital city. She was so excited about her new adventure. The city had everything she had dreamed of. Tall buildings, busy streets, and millions of people everywhere. At first, Maria loved everything about city life. There were so many advantages that she had never experienced before. The city offered incredible job opportunities. She found a good job at a marketing company within just 2 weeks of arriving. In her village, there were only a few jobs available, and most of them were in farming or small local businesses. But in the city, there were hundreds of different companies, and new job openings appeared every day. The public transportation in the city was amazing too. Maria could go anywhere she wanted, using buses, trains, and the subway. She didn't need a car because the public transport system was so good. In her village, you needed a car to go anywhere because there was only one bus that came twice a day. Now she could travel across the entire city in less than an hour. Entertainment was another huge advantage of city life. There were movie theaters, concerts, art galleries, and museums everywhere. Every weekend, Maria could choose from dozens of different activities. She could go to a new restaurant, watch a play at the theater, or visit an art exhibition. In her village, the only entertainment was the small community center that showed old movies once a week. The shopping opportunities in the city were incredible. There were huge shopping malls with hundreds of stores, small boutiques with unique clothes, and markets with food from all around the world. Maria loved that she could find anything she needed at any time of day. Many stores were open 24 hours a day. In her village, there was only one small shop that closed at 6 o'clock in the evening. Maria also loved the cultural diversity of the city. She met people from different countries, learned about new cultures, and tried food from all over the world. There were Chinese restaurants, Italian pizzerias, Mexican cafes, and Indian curry houses all within walking distance of her apartment. In her village, everyone was from the same culture, and the only restaurant served traditional local food. The educational opportunities in the city were fantastic too. Maria could take evening classes to learn new skills, attend workshops and seminars, and even study for a master's degree at the university. The city had several universities, language schools, and professional training centers. In her village, the nearest university was 2 hours away by car. However, after living in the city for 2 years, Maria started to notice some serious disadvantages. The cost of living was extremely high. Her small apartment cost 3 times more than a large house in her village. Food was expensive, transportation costs added up quickly, and even simple things like getting a haircut cost much more than in the countryside. The city was incredibly crowded and noisy. Maria's apartment was next to a busy street, and she could hear cars, buses, and people talking loudly at all hours of the day and night. Sometimes she couldn't sleep because of the noise. The streets were always full of people, and during rush hour, it was difficult to walk on the sidewalks because there were so many pedestrians. Air pollution became a big problem for Maria. The air in the city was dirty because of all the cars, buses, and factories. She often had headaches and felt tired. Her eyes hurt from the smog, and she started coughing more often. In her village, the air was clean and fresh, and she never had these health problems. The stress of city life was overwhelming. Everything moved so fast, and there was constant pressure to work harder, earn more money, and be successful. Maria worked long hours at her job, often staying in the office until 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. She felt like she was always in a hurry, always rushing to get somewhere. The pace of life was exhausting. Crime was another concern in the city. Maria had to be careful when walking alone at night, especially in certain neighborhoods. She heard about robberies, theft, and other crimes happening regularly. Her apartment building had security cameras and locked doors, but she still felt worried sometimes. In her village, people never locked their doors, and crime was extremely rare. The traffic in the city was terrible. Even though Maria used public transportation, she still had to deal with crowded buses and delayed trains. When she took a taxi, it often took much longer to reach her destination because of traffic jams. During rush hour, the streets were completely blocked with cars, and the air was filled with exhaust fumes and the sound of car horns. Public transportation was a major problem in the countryside. There was only one bus that came twice a day, and it didn't go to many places. Lisa needed a car for almost everything, going to work, shopping, visiting friends, or going to medical appointments. Owning and maintaining a car was expensive, especially when gas prices went up. Shopping was very limited in the countryside. There was only one small general store in Lisa's village, and it didn't have a large selection of products. If she wanted to buy clothes, electronics, or special food items, she had to drive to the nearest town, which was 40 minutes away. Online shopping helped somewhat, but delivery often took longer and cost more in rural areas. Entertainment options were very limited compared to the city. There were no movie theaters, concerts, or art galleries nearby. The village had a small community center that organized events once or twice a month, but that was about all. If Lisa wanted to see a movie, go to a concert, or visit a museum, she had to drive to the nearest city, which was an hour and a half away. Healthcare was another challenge in the countryside. There was only one small clinic in Lisa's village, and it was only open 3 days a week. For serious medical problems, she had to travel to the city hospital, which was far away. In emergency situations, it could take a long time for an ambulance to arrive because of the distance. Internet connection was slower and less reliable in the countryside. This made it difficult for Lisa to work from home, take online courses, or even just watch videos or video chat with friends. In the city, Maria had fast, reliable internet that worked perfectly all the time. Educational opportunities were limited in the countryside. There were no universities nearby, and few options for adult education or professional development. If Lisa wanted to learn new skills or take advanced courses, she would have to travel to the city or take online classes, which was difficult with the poor internet connection. The countryside could also feel isolating, especially during the winter months. When the weather was bad, Lisa might not see anyone for days except for her immediate neighbors. Young people often moved away to cities for better opportunities, so the village population was getting older and there were fewer people her age to socialize with. Dating was more challenging in the countryside because there were fewer single people in the area. Most of the young adults had moved to cities, leaving behind mainly families and older residents. If Lisa wanted to meet new people romantically, her options were very limited. After several years of living their different lifestyles, both Maria and Lisa began to think more carefully about the advantages and disadvantages of their choices. Maria started to miss the peace and quiet of the countryside. She was tired of the noise, pollution, and stress of city life. She began to think about finding a balance, perhaps working in the city, but living in a smaller town nearby. Lisa, on the other hand, sometimes felt that she was missing out on opportunities and experiences that only city life could offer. She wondered what it would be like to have more career options, better entertainment, and easier access to cultural activities. She considered the possibility of moving to a smaller city that might offer some urban advantages without all the disadvantages of a huge metropolis. Both friends realized that there is no perfect choice between city life and countryside life. Each lifestyle has its own advantages and disadvantages, and the best choice depends on a person's individual priorities, personality, and life goals. Some people thrive in the fast-paced, opportunity-rich environment of the city. They enjoy the diversity, the convenience, the cultural activities, and the career possibilities. They don't mind paying higher costs and dealing with stress and crowds in exchange for these benefits. Other people prefer the peace, community, and natural beauty of the countryside. They value a slower pace of life, stronger relationships with neighbors, cleaner air, and lower living costs. They are willing to accept limited job opportunities and fewer conveniences in exchange for these advantages. Many people find that their preferences change over time. Young people often prefer cities for the excitement and opportunities, while older people might prefer the countryside for the peace and community. Some people find compromise solutions, such as living in suburbs that offer some advantages of both city and country life. The story of Maria and Lisa shows us that both city life and countryside life have their merits. The decision about where to live should be based on careful consideration of what matters most to you personally. Whether you choose the excitement of the city or the tranquility of the countryside, both paths can lead to happiness and fulfillment if they match your personal values and life goals. What's most important is to understand yourself, know what you value most in life, and make choices that align with your personal priorities. Some people need the energy and opportunities of the city to feel fulfilled, while others need the peace and community of the countryside to be truly happy. Neither choice is right or wrong, they are simply different paths through life, each with their own unique rewards and challenges.